So today, what I'd like to talk about is more about the symptoms, the effect that are possible, not to expect, but that are possible. So when they're coming, don't worry about it. These are detox, the effect of the detox. 90%, 95% of the people go through the process without having more than just being bloated a little bit, feeling the baby kicking. That's how I call this. Feeling that there's movement happening in the abdomen. A few. So 95% of the people just go through this and say, "Oh my God, it's so easy." And you may do it another time later, and then you may experience the symptoms that I'm gonna talk about right now. So one of them that we hear quite often are headaches. It's possible that you start, oftentimes the headaches will come with some nausea, and then you feel like, oh my God, you don't know if you can continue to take the drinks. So what I'm saying, if the nausea is unbearable, just skip a drink. It doesn't matter. We give a schedule, okay, to follow, so it's easy, but you can go off a little bit of the schedule, and ultimately you could even do it over 2 days. This is something that would be also possible in extreme cases. And the nausea come often with headaches because as I mentioned yesterday, the enzymes are alive, and uh, uh, they move through the bloodstream as well. They move through the lining of the intestine and penetrate the bloodstream and may enter the liver and start moving some toxins there, which is not a bad sign. Okay, it's a kind of a secondary thing. The main purpose is happening in the intestine. The main work of the enzymes is happening in the intestine, but it's possible that some work start into the liver as well, and it's moving toxins, and it's possible that it actually create some nausea. So don't worry about this. As I mentioned yesterday, there's nothing wrong that can happen. It can be uncomfortable occasionally. This is one thing. What you can do about it, not much. There's not much you can do about it, about the symptoms. Is to actually, the one thing that could help, that will help the most when you experience this symptom, is to accept it, knowing, thinking on the positive side, meaning that you know that it's some detox is happening and that it will not last long. Okay, if you can sleep, that's the best thing to do if this occur, and then as soon as you're going to start releasing, this will go immediately. Okay, so the detox will have the symptoms will stop immediately as soon as you start releasing. So this is one, and what will confirm that is the work in the liver is the location of the headache. Normally, it starts in the neck, okay, and pursue on the sides, and it's temporal and gets into your eyes. Okay, so this is the gallbladder meridian in Chinese medicine. This is the gallbladder meridian, and this is exactly where the headache occurs. So it's not a top, or it's not a frontal, or it's really straight along the gallbladder meridian. So, and the next day you may see some yellow beads inside the plaque that will be released, because it's already some toxins from the liver, some fats, and even some people may find, if they look carefully, some gallstones in it. But so this is not the purpose of this cleanse, but it still can happen, and this symptoms is part of it. Try, if you, as much as you can, if you can, try to avoid taking any pills about it, because it can change your the pH. And actually, when you feel something, uh, there's a participation. There's more consciousness, and there's a participation into the healing, into the work that is happening. So this is one. This is one, and I started by the most uncomfortable one, I would say. Um, the other one will be some bloating. Okay, some bloating. So not everyone has the same reaction to discomfort. Some people, as soon as they're thrown off a little bit, or their comfort zone, it's kind of unbearable. Some other people can handle a lot of discomfort. But I think that once we're aware of what is going on, we can have more of a positive mind facing this issue. When we don't know, and we think that there's something wrong happening, it amplifies, because we contract, we're afraid, we worry about it. But remember, it's only, first, what you're taking is food. Okay, never forget this. This is food. It cannot hurt you. It's pre-digested food, so you cannot even have intolerance to this product. Okay, it's not possible. It's pre-digested. It's been fermented for 3 years. So it's all immediately absorbable. So an intolerance is something you cannot digest, and macroparticles end up into the bloodstream. So it creates allergies. So you cannot be allergic to the product. It's not possible. And you cannot have intolerance because of this. There's sugar in this, and there's diabetic people who use the product without a problem, because all the sugars are already broken down. So remove the worries from there. It doesn't help. It actually creates more tension, and it amplifies the discomfort. And so the bloating is something that is I would say more common, because the way the enzyme work, the enzyme do not strip off. It's not like psyllium husk and bentonite clay. Psyllium husk and bentonite clay is not something that is alive, right? It's more broomers and vacuum cleaners. The bentonite just absorb, and the psyllium husk is a broomer. Okay, so this oftentimes doesn't create bloating, but the way the enzyme work, they pursue and complete the digestion. So this creates some movement and releases gas inside the intestine, and this can create, really, you may see your belly quite inflated. Sometimes it's not everyone. Remember, don't expect it, but if it happens, don't worry. It's not a problem. The enzymes are just active at that moment, and they are completing some digestion. Between the layer of plaque and the intestinal wall, there's some gases that can be that were stuck there, that can be released. So this is all normal. So if it's uncomfortable, as I mentioned, just relax, breathe, take one breath at a time, go for a walk, uh, keep yourself busy, relaxing at that moment. And this again, as soon this can come and go as something move inside. The movement may start. Some people start immediately, the same night, the same evening, but it's quite rare. It's often if they didn't have a bowel movement in the morning, okay, then it's possible that it comes in the evening. So you can keep your basket ready there, but it is not where the moment where the most interesting thing will come out. It will come out more on the next morning, and it can be even the day after in the afternoon. It can be it's not equal. It's not equal. There's some people also, we call the slow movers in the office here, okay, can come only on the second day. But don't worry, you're on a 7-day journey. So with all the enzyme you're going to take, it's going to come out. So these are the two main things that can happen. You can have some acid reflux that can happen also if there's some issues in the upper part of your digestive tract. So this is something possible, and especially if there's some work happening in the liver, so it's possible that it's releasing some bile. So this is pretty much the second most common issue that we're meeting. So bloating and feeling uncomfortable. Be mindful of how your mind reacts to those symptoms. Sometimes it goes into the panic and you start making story. Or is it dangerous? Is it normal? I tell you, it's everything that's gonna happen is normal for you. Okay, there's nothing wrong that can happen, even if the headache can be strong, or the bloating, you've never seen anything like that before. It's possible, but just let the enzyme do their work and just trust the process and help it. Don't add any burden of worries or fear on top of this. It's very, very safe. The other thing that can happen is that on the second day you don't see any movement coming out. Okay, this is rare, but this can happen because the enzyme, detox is not happening only at the physical level. Okay, even if you never had constipation before, or any olding, you're really regular, and suddenly you take enzyme, and then the following day it doesn't come out. It's very possible that the enzyme went to work so deep that it really triggered something. Because we say that when we're olding physically, we're also olding at the emotional or the mental level, and this is happening unconsciously. But when we trigger and the enzyme really say, hey, you come out, okay, I take you with me, there's an unconscious reaction happening, and that you're holding back. So if this is happening to you, that it doesn't come out, don't say, hey, it doesn't work for me, or anything like this. No, it works. It does the work. I will send you, actually, I will post a video, because it comes to my mind an experience that a lady had with the enzymes a couple of years ago, and she recorded a testimonial about that. So if this happened, I will talk to about it a little bit later. If this happened to you and you have an enema kit or anything that you have that you could inject just about 200 ml, about 200 ml of water, of warm water in the colon. Just do this. Sometimes that's all it takes to trigger the movement, and after that it'll be okay. Okay, you don't need like a full colonic. Actually, if you go for a full colonic on the following day, you may block the machine. So try to avoid, if you want to schedule a colonic, just do it maybe like for 2 or 3 days later. Okay, or you can also wait at the end of your 7-day. Okay, so if you want like a final rinse of the colon, which may be a good thing, it can be very nice to, and also to double check, that everything is clean in the colon. It's nice to witness that, to have the confirmation with a colonic or an enema that you do by yourself at home, a proper enema. So this is pretty much all you can experience during the cleanse. Physically. Emotionally, be very, very, very mindful. Okay, be very mindful. Don't take the cleansing days, don't take decisions, important decisions, or try to resolve issues with people during when you're cleansing. It's not a good timing. Because unconsciously there's too much happening into your emotional field, and you may not be completely clear, because a lot of things may also showing up at the surface, ready to be cleansed also. So be mindful of all the emotions that you're going through at that moment, and don't take it like don't project it outside. Just be the observer of what is going on at this moment. This is very important, and this, the more you go, you will manage at the emotional level, the more the easier the body will release also. So it's very important to be mindful. And if you have a method that you can use, either meditation, whatever method that you have, so you can observe your own emotion without taking it personally, it can be a great tool. One tool I can give you that is very simple is to tune into your breath. Because what happens when we're dealing with emotions is that we start making stories, we start understanding, we start trying to give it sense, when it may not have any sense. It's just the cleansing that is happening, but sometimes it's so real that it's projected into your reality, and it gets things worse. You're just really spinning at that moment, and it leads nowhere. So the best way to disconnect the mind when this is happening is through connecting your mind to your breath or to your sensations, allowing the sensations. Tuning into the breath, I mean following the inhale and the exhale. As simple as that. As simple as that. And this can be also the meditation 101. Means like you just follow, I'm inhaling and I'm exhaling. I'm inhaling and I'm exhaling. So as much you can do that, you're going to step out. You cannot do this and think at the same time. If you want to try it right now, try to think when you're tuned into your breath is impossible. You cannot do both at the same time. The meditation 102, well, we're going to a crash course here very fast. Okay, you can just take the pain instead of, or normally with the pain, we want to take it. The pain is big like this, and we want to press it like a pimple so it can come out. This is not how it works. A pain is a lot of energy in a small space. By doing so, we amplify the thing. A good way to disperse the pain is to accept the pain. Not easy, but if you work with the breath, you will see it's much easier. It's really a trick. This is really a trick that works. So that means like whatever you have a discomfort, you know, I say pain it's a little bit dramatic, but whatever discomfort you have or emotions that you have, just take it by the inhale. When you inhale, it's like you taking in, it's okay. And you allow it to spread, whatever it is, whatever emotion. You're angry, you're frustrated, you're depressed, you're discouraged, whatever feeling it is, allow it. Okay, just give it, try this. Just give it a chance to see more into it by inhaling it, allowing it to spread all over your body. It won't kill you. The opposite will happen. You will see what happens. And then once you've done this part, you allow it to leave as well. And you keep going like this. You move through the emotional movement that is happening. Emotion, energy in motion. There's nothing wrong with this. It's like our internal weather. Okay, sometimes it rains, sometimes storms, sometimes there's lightning. Okay, sometimes there's wind, whatever, sometimes it's sunshine, all good. Okay, this is creating balance inside yourself. It's nothing wrong. It's actually another mean, like I mentioned yesterday, it's a mean of our nature to restore balance. And this may happen in a very concentrated, in a condensed way when we're cleansing.
Hi, hi, Zuman. Thank you so much again. I know that this is kind of a silly question and it's totally not allowed, but will you speak to coffee, please?
Yes, about coffee. I mean, the thing with coffee, okay, is that it changes the pH so much. So on the during that week, avoid that. Avoid coffee. This would be really reducing the power of the enzyme. I posted something in the group, or maybe it was in the affiliate group about tea. I mean, what I mean by tea is Camellia sinensis, the plant, the tea. There's black tea, green tea, all this. This is not contraindicated, but don't take it, give it like, take the tea like an hour distance from the enzyme intake. If you take this, coffee will just flip the pH of your digestive tract.
Okay, and in general, coffee is not good, right?
It's not recommended. It's not recommended when we're cleansing. And actually, the coffee is a stimulant. Normally, when we cleanse, we don't want to take stimulants. We want to calm down. We want to trigger our parasympathetic nervous system, not to stick on the sympathetic nervous system. So allow yourself to be lazy. It's in the agenda. This is your mission. Be as lazy as possible this week. Okay, that's sometimes for some people it's a tough project. So tough project, because as soon as you start doing nothing, it's like, oh, I have this, oh, I have that, oh, I want to go somewhere. I need to do this. You know, the mission is to do as least as possible. Okay, go for your walk. Everything is about cooling ourselves down. Cooling ourselves down, letting the energy work, being present to what the process, because the amount of enzyme you're going to take, there's some work that's going to happen there. So there's a lot of movement. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it may be like more obvious, like more amplified. But it's not only the big thing. Sometimes it's just like start feeling like vibration, or some kind of a little pinch here, a little pinch there in the body, or maybe you can't sleep one night for some reason. Whatever happens, it's not something wrong. It's all possible. Right. But now you're committing for 7 days. Go full on. Go full on. Okay. Whatever happens, just go for it. Okay. Your journey is the other side. You know that you do this journey for after. Okay. Oftentimes people say, like, oh, me, I cannot fast. I love too much eating. Actually, I think that's why I'm fasting a few times a year, because I also like eating. I like so much eating. So this is some kind of a trick of the mind. No, it's like we're not fasting because we don't like eating. We're just fasting because we overate in the past few months. Maybe we overdid something, or we've been thrown out of balance. We've been stressed out because there was some kind of a situation that happened in our lives, and this moment is the moment I say, okay, I stop. It's necessary. Is the reset. Is the time to send the car to the tune-up.